Hello and welcome to the DCHL Outsider podcast. Super special, snowed in, super duper, wish I was outside sledding edition, but we are going to talk to Jessica Narod about her Saturday draft team championship. We're going to talk to Derek O Halloran about all things awesome, and we're going to give some quick recaps of the games right now. So let us get to it, and we'll start off talking to Jessica. We are now joined by the DCHL draft queen herself, Jessica Narod.
Oh my God, Joe.
So Jessica, your team, the red team, the much aligned, the doubters were in full force. They said your team did not look as good as it could. So what message do you have for the haters out there?
They should never doubt me when it comes to a draft. I have proven myself, hopefully by now. This is, the latest of many wins. Back when we had the X Division and there was drafts, or when Suds did drafts for tournaments, he used to do that. Just like regular tournaments, we would draft, and it was always a blast. But it had been a long while since I had done one, and I'm glad to see that I still have it.
So back to the X Division was a X Division was where it was relatively pickup kind of hockey.
Yes,
where
yeah.
Where players would sign up, there'd be drafts, you'd play on a team, and it would go for the season, and then rosters get reset at the end of the season, and new players could join and all that. So that being said, let's go over your team right now. Let's see who we got right now.
Okay. Back to the tournament. This was like a Sidwell, not really a DCHL tournament, but like a special kind of tournament.
It was a special little winter tournament here. So you had Amanda Fraunhofer,
yep,
Ben Purse, Carolyn Ellison, Chris Zupa, Dave Sidhu, Eric Blautzik, Jeff Leinenweber, yourself, Mario Blautzik, Patrick Noyes, and Phil Glazier. I probably got half those names pronounced poorly, but, we'll wing it and see what happens. Any complaints can be redirected to Suds. So, of that team, who do you think was your best pick? Who was your best steal?
My best pick was Patrick. He was my first pick in the draft. I was so excited that I was drafting first, so that Megan couldn't draft him first, and she was not happy with me. And he ended up scoring some key goals, including the championship game winner. So,
okay.
And I never get to play on a team with him, so this was like probably one of the first times we played together. So I was very excited.
Okay.
But everyone was amazing on my team. We all just really clicked. I mean, we started out, not having the best chemistry, but as each game went on, we got stronger. So.
Okay. What do you think in terms of drafting strategy? I'm not going to ask you what your...
Oh, you can talk. I'll give pointers because I'm not worried.
Not worried at all. Okay. What were you trying to do for this draft? Like do you just try to build a team around certain players? Do you try to, get players you think will play together? Do you go for best overall value? What is your approach?
Well, it always is going to depend on who is in the draft or who's available. So if there's like a superstar player and you have the ability to get them, someone like a Jake Brewy or a Joe Shea, of course, you would probably want to snatch them first. But if in this draft there was a lot of players of a similar skill set, like there was like a group of players that had a similar skill set, another group of players, so it was like very even. And in this case, I was thinking, okay, I want to make sure I have strong defense and a strong goaltender, and I felt like the scoring would just come based on those things. We would get our goals in, so that was my strategy for this one. I'm gonna keep talking.
Go ahead.
I don't know if people even want to hear this, but if you are ever drafting, you can also think about who is chemistry together. It's always good if you can get people that have played on the same team together. I got a father and son combo with Mario and Eric, so that was great. So just getting that built-in chemistry already, it can go a long way for these kind of tournaments. So. Yeah.
Okay. Of all the players that were on the other teams, who was one player you really wish you could have picked up?
I'm looking right now. I mean, Owen is always like such a solid player. I don't think I've ever seen him have a bad game. He's so consistent. So that would have been one that I would have liked to have.
So Owen's is a very safe value pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also Nick Mosier too. So those are 2 picks. Kayla looks like she'd be fun to play with. I finally got a chance to play with her yesterday for the Sunday game, so she would have been fun to pick too. But no, I mean, they're definitely good players on each team, and all the games were close. So it's not, I mean, I did win, but it wasn't like it was a blowout or anything. Everyone had a strong team. So
yeah, a lot of the games were really close. Really defensive-based tournament. There was not that much goal scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think maybe for future tournaments we can try to get Suds to have more drafting done as opposed to him making the teams?
So Suds does it. He has his own way now. I miss the days of the draft. We actually got together one week. It was like John Rumps, Kevin Shea, myself, Suds, and we like met in person and had a draft, and it was the most fun draft ever. But no, I wish, Suds, if you're listening, bring back the draft, especially for those like tournaments for holidays or whatever. It's really fun. You get more people like thinking about the choices. I know that you want to balance it yourself, but there's a lot of people who see the people in the league play, and they can make some really good picks and have some, you know.
And it was really, pretty balanced right now.
It was really balanced. There's like a lot of people that would be good at drafting.
You know, I mean, you know, the teams that people thought might have been weaker did really well. Some of the teams that, you know, that people had projected to win it did not. So, I mean, I think it was a pretty good spread. I don't know. I feel like drafting was pretty sweet, and maybe you can try to get different people to draft in the future.
Of course, yeah. It gets people more involved too.
Yeah, and, you know, it'll helps build the community and all that. So, all right, that was our quick little, you know, convene.
Oh my done.
I don't know what to say.
I'm getting kicked off the show.
I mean, if you want to stay and talk,
No, we've talked enough. It was just really fun. Thank you, Joel, for putting it together.
Yeah, Joel did a really good job with the tournament. Making sure we got everything taken care of. It was fun. Let's hopefully get to do more tournaments in the future. I hope that we can do another Russian Machine Never Breaks tournament.
Oh, that was a great tournament.
We
streamed everything.
I know, it was streamed. It was awesome, and we're talking maybe doing one in the spring. I mean, just imagine doing one right around playoff time for hockey. Or
oh yeah, yeah, we get everyone excited.
You know, that would be pretty cool. So I don't know. Yeah, if you're listening, push Suds, tell them, hey, let's do more tournaments. Let's try to do a Russian Machine one. Let's make it work. So I think that would be awesome. So thank you, Jess, for joining us. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And we'll get to the regular scheduled game updates and recaps.
So we got a quick little rundown here. The games of the week. MDHL action started out. Crease Crashers against the Barbarians here. Crashers end up with a 3-1 win. I don't know if the Crashers have scored 3 goals ever. And getting there was a big deal. Gold Boars from Rachel, Alex Schutz from Rachel, and then Rachel from Joe Shea. Rachel, 3-point game. That's a strong performance out of her. Barbarians get a goal from Nick Berryman, but the Crease Crashers, wow, Rachel, great game on her part. They're definitely going to spark the offense on the Crashers here. Barbarians still looking to regroup and find their identity over the last couple seasons. We're going to see what happens with that. Blade Runners against the Gwendolyn Guardians, the much hyped Gwendolyn Guardians here. They get a 4-1 win. Goals by Sam Brinker, Abdul, Austin, and Aryan. Nick Moger scores unassisted for the Blade Runners late, but the Guardians look like they are the team to beat in the D2 division. We'll see if they're all hype or if they have a little bit of substance to them and are able to handle it in D2. 0 pucks given against Lucky Pucks in the 8:40 game right now. Defending champion Lucky Pucks, first game back from the championship. New look roster a little bit. So, some of the players taking the season off, so, adding some new players. 4-0 for 0 pucks given. Goals, Submit scores once, twice, and then Eric gets a pair of goals to make it 4-0 right there. Glad to see the new team gets a win. Very decisive win right there. So we will see what happens. This rec division could be wide open again right now. Lucky Pucks are the champions. We're not sure how they're gonna handle the roster changes. Wu-Tang is moved up, so this rec division's got a lot of space for a lot of new teams, and maybe 0 pucks given are going to be contender right now. We had Puck Mafia against the Gwendolyn Black Knights. The Black Knights get a goal, Andrew Markowitz, but Chris Zupa for the Puck Mafia scores late in the second to tie it up at 1-1. So Chris Zupa has been playing great lately. Had 2 goals in the Saturday tournament. Scored on Wednesday. I believe he scored on Sunday as well. He is definitely playing well and improving as a player. So he is someone to watch. I would expect him to get some more reps in the D3 division on Sunday or in D2 on Wednesdays. I think he's ready for it, and we'll see what happens. But last game of the night, we had Blue Steel against the Green Monkeys. This is the oh crap, it's 10:15. It's past our bedtime game. Both teams missed some players, but Blue Steel has a pretty decisive 7-1 win. Hat-tricks by Daniel Ruberg and Joe Shea, Matt Zekman. Matt and Daniel, both new additions to the team, come up huge. And Blue Steel looking pretty good in their first game right now. New look lineup. You never know what's going to happen. We'll see how they do at a game that's not after midnight. But that was decent week of MDHL action. Stupid me. But right now, looking at the standings, it's only been a couple weeks. Most teams have only played once. Some have played twice. Doing good, Derek. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
This is so spur of the moment. I usually reset, but I was recording a little bit of the recaps, but now we got a live in recap interview with Derek O Halloran.
Wow, there you go.
So how you doing, Derek?
I'm doing great. Just enjoying the snow.
So what is your profession?
I am actually an English teacher.
I knew that, and the reason I asked was, do you like the snow days?
I love snow days.
And you had a snow day, didn't you, right?
Oh, yeah. Snow day today, and we're looking at least a 2-hour delay tomorrow. So.
Well, that's not bad. What are you doing with all your free time?
Driving kids to hockey practice.
Could be worse,
Yep, absolutely.
So on that note, usually, I always always ask if there's anything else, you don't want to talk about or things you do or this and that, but you're all fair game now. There's nothing we can do.
That's true.
So, Derek O Halloran plays for the Rogue One-Timers in MDHL on Wednesday. He plays for the Hockey Dead in the Rec Division, and in D4 he plays for the Stick Magnets. Am I forgetting anything, Derek?
No, those are all my current teams. Yes.
Okay. So, so you had a very rough very rough DCHL championship weekend.
Oh yeah, it was a heartbreaker for sure.
So the Hockey Dead in the Rec Finals, is this their second or third time in the finals?
That was our third straight loss in the finals.
That's a rough one.
Yeah.
The team struggling to get over the top, but what are your thoughts on this season with the One-Timers?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Hockey Dead.
Dead?
I just talked about Wednesday, so I got Hockey Dead in my head.
No worries, Hockey Dead. I like our current incarnation of the team. I think they're a very scrappy and very gritty team. We lost our first 2 games, and then we played the Slashing Pumpkins, who are a great team this season. They were undefeated, and I think we won just pure grit, just trying hard and pushing, and So I think we're looking good this season for the rest of the season at least.
Yeah, rec is so weird because it seems like, one day a team's getting beat, the next day they're doing the beating, and it's just I think it's who matches up well against each other. And I think in the playoffs, if you get you get good draws, you'll win it. But if you get some rough ones, you're gonna get knocked out in the first round or so.
Absolutely, yeah.
Pumpkins looking really good, and you guys took them down 4-2, and you had a bye this week.
Yep.
So that's a lot of teams had buys. Some had some unexpected buys, as we had an abridged schedule due to the weather.
Yes.
So there's that, and there's the stick magnets. I mean, I always say that the D4 is like the best division you can have, and it's very competitive, and a lot of the games are very close. But this season we're moving to 8 teams into 2 subdivisions, and I don't really know. What were your thoughts on that as a captain?
It didn't really impact me very much. It's always nice to have more people to play against rather than playing against the same people over and over again. So that's always a plus when you have an extra team to play. It was nice to get another team added on Wednesday nights as well. They're looking like they're a pretty solid team.
Well, that is 0 pucks given.
Yeah.
That's I love those jerseys. Nice bright orange.
I was so surprised too. They got them so quickly. Most new teams takes them a couple of seasons to get a jersey.
Yeah, I think they might have been playing this one for a while.
Yeah.
All right, so Derek, what do you like doing outside of hockey? What do you got going on?
Other than hockey, I spend a lot of time. I like movies and music and reading and you name it.
Oof, well, let's
gaming.
Go. Gaming. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's do a little game talk here. What kind of games you like?
Oh boy, I'm into a lot of stuff. I got a lot of people into Minecraft. I was one of the first adopters when it came out in the original beta version, and then a lot of World War II Sims. Big into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I when I think of World War II games, I think of Command and Conquer. I think of Axis and Allies. I think of Risk. Some board games, some computer games like that. Are there any other ones out there that I'm not familiar with, or the casual gamer might not know?
Oh, absolutely love those board games, but it all started, I guess, with Medal of Honor, Allied Assault on the PC, and Call of Duty, and that kind of stuff.
Do you play Call of Duty online with the headset, and do you run your mouth a lot when you're playing, or
yeah, I play with a bunch of friends. We've been playing together for 20 plus years. Yeah, so there's a lot of trash talking going on. We call it practice night, and we play against each other. There's about 20 of us, and we've been playing together for
That's pretty awesome.
Talk. Yeah, it is. The trash talk is a little over the top.
Okay, so let's go book-wise. What's your favorite book?
Oh, I hate getting asked that question.
Well, give me one. Give me like one. Oh, okay. When I say what's your favorite, just give me one in your top 5, or give me what's a book you would recommend to me randomly?
I don't know about a book, but
or a movie, or a TV show.
One of my favorite authors.
Something.
Right
Give
now,
me something.
Neil Gaiman.
Okay.
Love his stuff.
Okay.
Been kind of following him since I was a teenager when he was doing the Sandman comics, and became a novelist. Writes for television and movies. He's a great guy. Sci-fi kind of stuff.
Okay. If you were of a mythical race, which race would that be?
Oh man. Oh boy.
Come on, you're not ready for this, are you, Derek?
No, you never know what Joe's gonna throw your way. Mythical race. I would be a drow.
Okay. I'll accept that.
There you go.
I will accept
Dark
that.
elf. A fallen elf.
Yep. The Drow Ranger is a character in Dota, which is one of my favorite video games, so I am very familiar with that race. You big in? Are you like a Lord of the Rings guy, or like a Star Wars, Star Trek? Like, where's your nerd alliance?
You know what? When it comes to nerd
You're like
fandom,
a doctor. You're probably a Doctor Who guy.
I love Doctor Who.
I knew
love
it. I knew
Lord,
it.
Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Star Trek. I can't get enough of all of that stuff.
Okay. So, what did you have for dinner today, Derek?
Oh, it was very much a burger day. Homemade burgers.
Okay, cheese or none?
Cheese, definitely. Cheese for me and my son and my daughter and wife, no cheese.
Okay. So what do you go? You like ketchup, mustard, onion, lettuce, tomato?
Classic, yep.
What about pickle on the side? You a pickle guy?
Yep, pickle on the bun actually, right in the sandwich, if you will.
Nice. Okay. I'm down with that. Do you get them pre-sliced in like the circles, or do you just cut it yourself, or do you just like
I like the
quarter
ones
them
that
and?
are pre-sliced lengthwise, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are pretty cool, man.
yeah.
Oh man,
More pickle.
I want pickles now.
There you go.
To put this interview on hold, I gotta get some pickles.
Dill all the way.
Oh man. So, where are you from originally, Derek? Let's fill everyone in on the Derek O Halloran experience, because I honestly I love talking to you when we're at hockey and
Yeah.
finding, because I mean you got everyone's got a really cool story, and I like listening to yours. So share some for the listeners, who it's pretty much gonna be me later on.
Exactly. You and me and my family. I was born in Toronto, just outside of Toronto, Mississauga General Hospital, and
Okay.
my dad worked at the Ford plant. We lived in Brampton at the time. I think I lived there till I was about 2 or 3 years old, and I remember my dad used to make a hockey rink in the backyard. The old,
How do you do it? How do you do it?
He had one of those huge old shovels that are made of steel,
Yeah.
like the giant ones for pushing snow.
Yep.
And you would just, we used to sit in it, and he would pull us around in the backyard in the shape of the rink, and then he would, put the hose on it, and the water would freeze, and he'd keep doing that until we had a working hockey rink in the backyard.
So what my dad did, we had a hockey rink in our backyard as well, and he would take 2x4s and nail them together to make a giant rectangle in our backyard. And he had a tarp. He'd lay the tarp over it, and he'd fasten it around here and there. Then he would hose it in, just like you said. And yeah, we had a back. Yeah, I don't know how people can live a childhood without having a hockey rink in their backyard.
Yeah, that was nice. And then when I was about 3 or 4, we moved from the Toronto suburbs up to northern Ontario. So that was a completely different environment. It was lots of lakes and ponds and rivers, and we had a camp. And in the winters, we just put our skates on, and we just skate the entire length and width of this lake. It was a lot of fun. Cold, but a lot of fun.
So you do not have much of a Canadian accent. You don't have the traditional Canadian, like A and Ozer and all that stuff. So so
No.
what happened to that?
I lost most of that, I guess. Living down here in the States, I've been acclimated.
When did you move to the good old USA?
I actually flew down July 4th of 1999. So it was cool. I was flying into the States, coming over the border at night, and I guess Seattle was setting off fireworks for July 4th, so it was a very cool sight.
Oh, that is awesome. So, you said July 4th, 1999.
Yeah.
So, if I can do my math correctly, July 4th, 2019 will be our 20-year anniversary of acquiring Derek O Halloran from
That's
Canada.
right. That's right. I think it was a good trade.
You know, I don't know. I don't know what we gave up, but I think it was. I think we got the better of that deal.
I like to think so.
Oh man, you know what? Maybe if I gotta look up when July 4th is, man. July 4th is a Thursday, so what I think we're gonna do is the Wednesday beforehand, July 3rd. We're gonna do some USA brownies for Derek.
All right. Woohoo! Those brownies were good yesterday. Is that more you or is that more Jess?
Jess made them that time,
Aha.
and they were good. They were really good.
Yeah, they
So,
were.
yeah. So if I remember to remind me, we'll have awesome. We'll have brownie. What we could do is we'll get M&Ms in red, white, and blue colors. And we'll put them on top.
Oh, wow. Look at
On the next episode of DCHL Baking. I don't know why I always start talking about food and it
burgers, and then we'll have
burgers,
some
brownies, and
for dessert. Yeah.
we'll talk Halloween candy later on. Don't worry. So you teach English. What is your favorite book to teach? Oh, I mean that's you know I know you don't like that question, but like what is one of the books you've taught that you've really liked or has had like a really positive experience with students or has been people have been very receptive to?
I think right now, for the last several years, teaching eighth grade English, one of the books that I think it's a great book, it's a great story, and the kids really get into it is The Giver by Lois Lowry.
Okay.
And it was made into a movie, which, in my opinion, was horrible and a complete bastardization of the novel. But that book, there are kids who, you get the classic kid who says, "Oh, I went through middle school and I never actually read a book," and they'll tell me, "I actually opened it and started reading it, and I couldn't put it down." And then they go on to read all the rest of the series.
So, oh my God, now I got homework, Derek, because I actually have never read The Giver. It's for some reason it's one of those books that we never read in school. We never did for summer reading or book reports, and it's crazy that it cracks me up because I feel like everyone mentions The Giver to me, and I've never read it, so I think I'm gonna have to read it now. I need to get on this. I'm sick of being the guy who's like, "Yep, never read The Giver."
Yeah, I'll lend you a copy. I have 300 of them at work.
There you go. You know what? If you bring one in on Wednesday, I will. I'll give it back to you on Sunday read.
All right, there we go. Woohoo!
So now we got homework, and we might do a DCHL book report on the next podcast of The Giver. Oh man, so you have a son and a daughter apparently, based on what you had mentioned earlier. Your son actually played in the Russian Machine Never Breaks tournament with you, and that was actually really cool.
Yeah, it was. It's one of my favorite hockey memories.
That was really cool, man. I remember you scored. I'll never forget it. I will never forget this until I die. You scored like an overtime game winner, and like your son came and get like this big hug, and it was like the best. Like
it was the best.
It was like the best feeling ever. I was like, I'm not even involved, and it's just I feel good.
Yeah, that was. I will remember that forever. It was. I was dog tired out there, and I remember it was Ben Berger had it, and he did kind of a pass, a shot in, and I got it, and I was just dog tired, been out there for a while, and just slammed it between the goalie's legs, and my son just lost his mind and came over and grabbed me and was hugging me. Yeah, it was a great time. Great memory.
We just can't get away from burger talk, can we?
No, Ben Berger this time.
So how old's your son?
He is 16. He'll be 17 in February.
Do you think he will be playing in the league at some point, or is hockey not his thing? Or
looks me every Wednesday, every Sunday. Do you need subs? Do you need a sub? He just wants to play. When's the next tournament? So he'll definitely be playing again at some point.
Very cool. Okay, so I think I don't know if you listened to the podcast before, but I like doing a 2-minute rapid fire, or I fire away the dumbest, most random, crazy questions.
Okay.
And give me instant answers as quick as you can. Don't think too much about it. I want your first instinct. Okay.
Okay.
And don't give me any of this like, oh, I don't want to have to choose. Like if you got like, top 3 or something, just give me one of them and let's go from there. All right.
All right.
All right. Let's go on to Derek. We're on the power play here, baby. I need some quick shots from the point. All right. Derek, favorite movie?
Favorite Star Wars.
Which episode?
The first one. The
A New Hope.
New Hope. The cultural experience of that, the whole movie, and it defined my childhood really.
Okay. Favorite Halloween candy?
Kit Kat.
No, Kit Kat's
I always
awful.
like getting a Kit Kat.
Oh, that's disappointing. What is your favorite season?
Summer.
Holiday.
Christmas.
Sports. That's not hockey.
Sports at not high. To play soccer, I guess.
Okay. What about to watch?
Soccer, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can take that.
Yep.
What was the last time you've traveled? Where'd you go and why?
The last major trip was last summer. I went up to Montreal. My son is thinking about colleges in Canada, so we went up to visit McGill, which is where I graduated from, and we did a tour of Bell Center, and it was a great time.
Do you speak French?
I like to say I know enough to get around.
Can you read it, write it, say something in French?
Écoute, ben là, more québécois than j'aime beaucoup de Pepsi là, du Midwest là.
I got a couple of those words here and there.
Like I said, I can get around. I can order food. I could order drinks, whatever I need to do. Find the bathroom.
Okay, what's your favorite drink to order?
A beer.
What kind of beer?
I'm an IPA man, but really I like experimenting with beer. I just used to, well, I still do brew my own, and
Brew. That's a hobby right there, brewing his own beer.
yeah, I got into it as a teenager, and
Well, you're allowed to drink at was it 19's the drinking age in Canada?
exactly, yeah, in Ontario the drinking age is 19, so used to I honestly started making it in a huge garbage pail that was just for that purpose. It was never used for trash or anything, but
One would hope.
So I started off the hobby that way, and then got more and more advanced, and at this point I'd like to say I could you tell me what beer you like from a brewery, and I could make it just as high quality as the brewery could, I would think.
Really? That's very interesting right there.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand with I like to cook, I like to brew.
We really need to do. Okay, so do you think we would get more listeners for a DCHL League's food cast? I feel like we would. I don't think anyone
competition, like Chopped or something.
Oh my God, we did DCHL Chopped. Oh my God, it would be priceless.
I don't know. Jess's brownies would be high up there.
That's pretty good. I mean, people make pretty good food. I think there's a lot of decent cooks here. At least they think they are.
Yeah, we could get.
We will find out.
His Instant Pot.
Oh my God, that would be awesome to do that. Oh, that'd be so cool.
That would be.
DCHL Chopped. And make it hockey themed too. Oh my God, you could do a squid based dish or an octopus. You could do catfish or something.
Instead of chopped, it could be slashed.
Oh my God! Oh, he's got.
You've been
jokes,
slashed.
dude. He's got jokes. Oh my God, that's so clever, Derek. Oh man, slashed instead of chopped. Oh, that's clever. The winner of that would hands down be Jason Maxstein.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Or as I like to call him, Smackstein. There you go.
Oh, Jason Smackstein. No love for Jason right here. He's
nothing but love. Nothing but love.
I say he's roughing some games now, man. You better get on his good side.
Yeah, he's a good all around guy. So
yeah. So All right, man. Give me one interesting fact about Derek that no one knows that you're willing to share.
Oh, oh. What do you a lot of? Oh, the thing a lot of people don't know about me is I used to curl, play curling.
Okay, that's a very Canadian thing. So,
It is. When I was in the eighth grade up in northern Ontario, I used to play, and I got what's called an eight-ender, which is a perfect game. Um, it's akin to getting a score of 18 after 18 holes of golf.
so
18
how
holes
how
of,
does how does one get an eight ender?
in an eight-ender, in all eight ends of the game, you have to put all of your rocks in scoring position, and the opponent can have none of their rocks in scoring position. I believe is how it works.
Oh my God.
Which is, as you can imagine, incredibly difficult to do. And we just kind of blindly stumbled into this, and I didn't understand it at the time, but all these people came running down onto the ice. I went back home a few years ago, and I was surprised to see my pictures on the wall in the curling club. I couldn't
Oh
believe
my
it.
God. We
Uh,
need we do you gotta have a picture of that picture.
yeah, that was.
You gotta that's you gotta give me that. That's gotta go up on the league page, man. That is awesome. That's like, oh, that's so cool.
Had no idea what I was doing, but we pulled it off.
So what do people rotate positions in curling?
Uh,
At a younger age like that? I mean, I know like, professionally people generally have like a certain, role, but when you're younger, do you rotate through or what position were you?
no, we had pretty much set positions. I was just I don't even know what they call it. I was sweeper.
Okay.
The skip would call out the plays, and I would just do what he told me to do.
That is awesome. Do you have another fact, man? 'Cause like I'm like it's like so cool. It's like so cool, man.
Uh, Jeez.
You got some good stories, man. I'm like loving this.
I don't know. That's about the most random thing I could think of that most people don't know.
All right, you owe me one for next time.
All right. You got it.
All right, man. Derek, do you have anything to say to the millions and millions of people going to be listening to this podcast?
Yeah. Get involved with hockey. Get involved with ball hockey. Go out and play. Join a team. It's life changing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so remember, you can check out Derek, watch him play Wednesdays for the Rogue One-Timers, Sundays for the Stick Magnets and the Hockey Dead. I'm not sure if any of his games are going to be streamed this week, but we've got a huge archive of games that we're building very quickly, so you can watch Derek and the rest of his team and in those games. Maybe we'll get Derek to call a game in the future if he's interested.
Hey, you got it.
All right, man. Derek,
Like
man,
that.
thanks for stopping by and joining us here. Have a
You
great
got it,
rest of your
Joe.
day, and have a dessert. You've earned it.
All right. I got some cherry pie waiting for me upstairs. Baked it last night.
Nice. All right, man. Have a good one.
All right. You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.
And we are back to our regularly scheduled DCHL Leagues recap. Thanks to Derek O Halloran for joining right there. Great fun interview. I had a blast. That was really cool. It's always good to get to know people who play in the league, and everyone's got an interesting story and background, and it's good to just get a little piece of theirs and talk about it and bond over it. I mean, that's pretty sweet. So back to the game. So let's talk about Derek's Stick Magnets here. They played the Gwendolyn Blue Knights, and they were able to get a 4-2 win. Jason Boyd comes up huge with 2 goals. Andy Gladfelter with another goal, and Derek O Halloran, the podcast interview, scored a goal as well. So that is 4-2. Lisa had 3 assists. Andy Gladfelter goal and 2 assists. So great game for them right there. Yeah, this is God, D4 is such a good division. Stick Magnets now are 2-2. They are second place in the Atlantic Division, behind the Hellfish. So this will be interesting to see what see what happens. And Stick Magnets made it to the finals last season. They're poised to make another run, so we'll see what happens. Speaking of Gwendolyn, the Gladiators got to play the Crazy Eights, and Crazy Eights got a hat trick from Aaron Brown. All he does is score goals. Dan Cordella got one for the Gladiators, but this is definitely Aaron Brown's time to dominate. And big game for him right there. He is definitely making it a lot easier for the Crazy Eights to make a run right there. He's got 8 goals in 3 games. Yeah, doing really well. Aaron's a very good player. I expect him in D2 next season. Probably, you never know. Very talented, and I would expect him to, a lot of teams are probably looking at him, trying to get him for higher divisions. I think, it's a different game, but I think he'll be fine with that. Sam as well, I think both of them will do great in the higher divisions. There'll be an adjustment period, but, is what it is. They'll get through and be better for it. But speaking of Gwendolyn, rough day for Gwendolyn right now. The Nightmare played the Midnight Riders and started out strong. Matt DeGanzik with an assist a goal. Matt's been playing great lately, but Sam scored 2 for the Riders, and then Austin Keach with a power play goal, making it 3-1 right there. Midnight Riders looking good as always. They had a good run last season, and right now they're Rec's they're middle of the pack right now. Rec is Rec. One week you're the best team in the world, the next week you're gonna struggle. And Midnight Riders brought it, so good on them. Zambroni's All Blacks. Zambroni's got a hat trick from Andrew Marshall. They got a goal by Phil Glazier, and Gaffey scored to make it 5-1. So this was a game Zambroni's really needed. I feel like the team is struggling to find an identity. The roster's been a little lately. If you don't have a consistent roster, it's going to hurt you. And this was actually the first game they had. John Romps is going to take over net for Zambroni's, and John got his first win of the season. Zambroni's got their first win, and I think this is hopefully a win that the team can rally around and kind of turn the season around and find their identity and all that. But that's a big win, and I feel like the team is in a position to get there. D3 strong, but I think Zambroni's have the talent to be competitive, if not win it. A lot of it just comes down to having roster consistency and building that team chemistry. Chemistry will beat individual talent, and talent and chemistry is what great teams have. So the D3 division, you never know what's going to happen. I think last 2 seasons have been 2 different winners. Going back further, I don't even remember. So, we'll see what happens. You never know. Zambroni's looking strong, though. But next game of the day, we had the First Ladies Jacqueline against the Flying Hellfish. 0-0 game. Great games net by Patrick Lauer for the Hellfish and Adam Barrett. Adam B-A-R. I think it's Barrett, I'm pretty sure. For the... Sorry. Not 100% sure. Can't speak with confidence, but it's probably Barrett. Adam with 28 saves. Patrick with 20 saves. Shutout. D4. A lot of D4 games are 0-0 games, 2-1 games. Low scoring. A lot of the I'm just going to spitball it here. I tend to feel like in Rec, you get teams that get new players and are kind of trying to figure it all out right there, and then you have some talented players, and some of the games are a little more high scoring. I feel like my guess to why D4 is lower scoring than Rec is that there's a lot more experience in D4, so I think a lot of players play together, so they don't have defensive lapses. They know how to play, a tight game, and they don't have those hiccups, and the games aren't really one-sided sometimes, like they are in Rec. And this is what you get: 0-0 game, very exciting. Thanks to all of these streamers who stream games for this short abridged week. We love having people stream games. Love people watching. It's awesome. Helps build the community. It's fun. But we had a another D3 game, Goonies against the Arabian Nights. Gwendolyn had been 0 for 3 on this rough snow day for them, but they brought it here against the Goon Squad. Goonies were missing a couple players, I believe. Celeste and Hillary and Casey. They were in Michigan for, I believe, a hockey tournament, and the reason I know this is because they were watching the stream on their phone while driving. Hopefully, whoever was driving was not watching. We do not encourage you to stream and drive. We encourage you to be a passenger in stream, though. That would be awesome. But not the Goonies result that they were hoping for. Aaron Brown came out strong, scored a goal early on, but Ben Purse responded. Ben was playing a little more forward this game, and he came up with a goal. Aaron Brown came up unassisted, followed by Owen came up unassisted, but then Aaron picked up a third goal, hat trick again. Jeez, Aaron he's scoring so many goals. And then short-handed goal for Arabian Nights. Alec Mark scored, and then he scored another unassisted goal. 2 unassisted goals for Alec. That's back-to-back games with short-handed goals for Alec. He's a player. I don't want to say he tends to get lost in the shuffle, but when you see Aaron and Sam and a lot of the Gwendolyn players, not everyone gets that big name recognition. But I feel like Alec has, last season, he ended the season really well, scored the game winner in the rec division for the Blue Knights, and that was great. Don't get me wrong. But as a player, oh God, he was fast, but that was like it. He was fast, and that's it. But I don't know. In between last season and this season, he got a lot better in terms of handles. His shots got a lot of zip to it. He more confidence with the ball, stick handling, great passing. I'm shocked. I don't know where this passing came from, but Alec is very under the radar right now, and I don't know why. Alec's very good. I would definitely expect him to. This might be his breakout season, and this is like 3 weeks in. I'm saying this is a season where Alec's gonna wow people. I think he's gonna have, in between D4 and D3, he'll have, I'm guessing, at least 10 goals. And that's like half a goal a game, which that's not an insane amount, but he might have more. He might have a bunch of assists. You never know, but he is definitely a player to watch, and I'm calling it right now. He's gonna be one of the breakout players this year. That's like I talk like it's an easy, like it's like a difficult prediction. It's like it's obvious. Like he's going off, and I'm just gonna say it so I get credit when it does happen, because it's going to. So First Ladies D4, Eleanor played against the High Rollers right now. Right now is in yesterday. This was a game Dimitri scored, and then Brian scored to make it 2-0 High Rollers, but Krista Murphy ended up throwing one in towards the end, made it 2-1, and High Rollers were able to hold on, though, so that is going to be a 2-1 win for High Rollers. Last season, High Rollers were I don't want to say crappy, because that's harsh. High Rollers were struggling last season. The season before they won the championship, then they came back, and they had a bit of an off season. This season they are 4-0, and they are actually the only 4-0 team in the league right now. There's a couple 2-0 teams, Puck University in D1, Untouchables in D2. Ball Hogs are 3-0 in D2. In D3, every team's lost. Goonies are able to go coast to coast like they did last season, and yeah, so there's only about 4 teams that are undefeated right now, and there's only one of them's played 4 games. So it looks like there's a lot of parity in the league, which is very, very exciting. And the last game of the day in our short day was IPA against Stingrays. It's tricky. Stingrays looking really good. IPA had a very good game as well. So this game was it was back and forth. Stingrays, Chris Day scored the first one from Kenny Alvarado, and then Jonathan Cintron scored for IPA, made it a 1-1 game. But Dominic comes out and scores for Stingrays, subbing in right there. And then Brian Remley scores for Stingrays again, 3-1 Stingrays. But Cintron comes back, an assisted goal, making it 3-2. Kenny Alvarado goes back again, 4-2 Stingrays. But then we go Cintron, shorthanded goal. This really turned the tide of the game right here. Scored it late in the second period, and made it from 4-2 to 4-3. And after that, third period was all IPA. Claude Williams subbing in there, scores a goal, followed by Carlos Cruz, one of the greatest players in the league. Carlos Cruz scored a goal, assisted by Carolyn, scored another goal, assisted by Nick Mosier and Cintron, and then Cintron just wraps it up with an empty net. Unassisted goal. It was not empty netter. And this is a game. It's weird. It's like you look at this game and it's like 7-4. Oh my God, IPA smashed them. But it was like, no, Stingrays were up 4-2, and then just oops, 7-4. But that's what happens. D3 is looking so much more competitive right now. That was Stingrays' first loss of the season, actually, too. Stingrays were 2-0 going into that. Goonies were 3-0 going into that. Both get knocked out. Well, not knocked out. They get knocked down a peg, I guess. They didn't get knocked down, but can they get up again? We're never going to keep them down. I'm an idiot. But yeah, that is our extra long, super duper special edition of the DCHL Outsider podcast. So thank you very much for listening, and we will hopefully see you Wednesday, see you Sunday, and stay warm, stay cool, do what you got to do. Watch the streams. If you're interested in joining the podcast, let us know. Derek's interview was awesome, so if you want to be awesome like Derek, or I don't know if you can be as awesome as Derek. If you can be close to as awesome as Derek, I can't even guarantee that, but we'll do our best to make you as cool as him. So if you're interested, let us know. We will get you on the cast. So thank you for listening, and we will see you next week.